and you bought one of these things, right? And you have to buy this one every year, right? Because if you leave it outside, first of all, it's gonna crack in the wintertime. But even so, once you bend it, and I'll show you, you know, the problem with these rubberized hoses is that once you bend it one time, all right, it gets memory. And I'll bend it like that, like say it's kinked somewhere. Now, this has memory in there, so what's gonna happen is every time, and look at it, you can see where it's bent, all right? Every time I do it, it's gonna bend in the same direction, right? Even if I hold it like that, it's still gonna bend in that same direction. This develops a weakness, and that's where you're gonna get a split. And that's where the water's gonna start leaking. Trust me, that's what happens. Or you can go our Flex Hose. The Flex Hose is a brilliant, get out of my way, is a brilliant design, okay? We've got it available in the 50-foot, in the 75-foot, and the 100-foot. All right, so brilliant design. What you've got here is essentially a puncture-resistant fireman's hose. Superior strength, okay? It is burst resistant up to 200 PSI, and the average hose cranks out about 60 PSI, so you're covered there. This is the lowest price we've ever done. We actually put it on clearance today. If you get the 50-foot, it's $20 off. If you get the 75, it's $23 off. And if you get the 100, it's $25 off today. Choose your color, black. We have it in red, we have it in blue. But what makes it so really, really special is the fireman's hose nozzle, which is right here, because you can articulate this. You guys can come over to me, here we go. If you can articulate this into any position that you want. So if you need to bend it, you can bend it into any position, so then you can water things. You can actually turn it into a snake like this, and it'll actually sit on the ground like that, and you can water your trees. It is brilliant. You can adjust the flow like a regular fireman's hose right on the end, but this is the part that makes the whole thing worth it. You'll notice that it shrinks down when it's not full. That allows you to be able to wind it up on virtually any garden reel, like we have the one over here. You can either try this, which is a ridiculous mess, as you can see, and it gets kinks and it knots up, or you can do it like this, which is the brilliant way to wind up your hose, and I'll go this way, and you'll see it does not take up a lot of space. It flattens out. It allows the water to escape as I'm doing this, and it rolls up so very nicely. I've got actually a whole bunch of them hooked up together here, but look at this. I've already wound up one 50-foot hose, and I want you, I'm not gonna do the whole thing, but I want you to see how much of that takes up that much space versus the same amount of hose over here. Look at the difference. That's the before and after. Get these home, they are on clearance price, which is crazy that we're doing that. We're bringing more in, but we wanted to clear out the remaining inventory, so get them home. 093-286 is the item number. Stock up, get a couple of them if you can. And Lorna has rejoined us. She got reset up to show us the hose, so we'll rejoin her. Hey, Lorna, you back?
I am back, Guy, and I am so excited because I know in the States right now, there is a shortage of hoses in the stores.
Yeah.
Some people are finding them very hard to get. But this isn't just a regular hose. This is from Belmont Garden. They've been going for over 25 years in San Diego. They have come up with the ultimate flexible fiber jacket fireman hose. This is super tough. We're going to see on the videos later how tough. But what makes this unique and different is there's a 2-foot bendable end with a memory flex end. So I want to go high and water hanging baskets. I want to go low and clean under my car. This bends into shape. It remembers the shape. So I'm 5'2". Guy, this takes me to 7'2". So whether I'm watering something high, whether I'm watering something low, but it's also got a high power fireman style adjustable nozzle as well. All you have to do is choose your color and length. 50-foot guy weighs 3 pounds. Now imagine 50-foot of regular hose. And I'm gonna show you, because you've just got that in the studio too. Oh my goodness, the original style hoses, they end up tangled, knotted, they puncture, they tear, they crack in the sun. Once they get a kink, I've said this before, it's like my mother, they never forget. So they kink and then you can't use them. But also, once they get holes and punches in, they become worthless and they weigh so much. But we don't need these anymore because with the Belmont hose, what you've got is flexible fiber jacket hose. We've driven cars over this. We've towed cars with this. This is how strong it is. Don't worry about your weed whacker. Don't worry about thorns or rose bushes. This is heavy duty. But I just love the fact, whether I want to go do my hanging baskets, water my lemon tree here in the corner, I'm not getting wet feet. I'm not getting wet at all. It's doing the job. But then if I want to get, and I've got very low water pressure here in London, look at the pressure this gives out. It is incredible. And I want to show you, at the end of the day, when you wind up your normal hose, it's hard work, as you just said. But with the Belmont hose, I can just wind this up in seconds. I've got 50 foot here. Imagine doing this with a regular hose. They fight you, they make you struggle. They're really hard. This is so flexible, so strong. And even with that nozzle on the end, take off the Fireman style nozzle and you can connect multiple hoses together. So whether you've got a giant backyard and you want two 100 feet to link together, I've just linked those together in seconds. And I want to show you how easy this is to wind up. So I'm going to show you in a second. In fact, I'm going to show you that in a minute because I've just tangled myself up. So I want to show you how strong this is when it comes to icy conditions, winter conditions. But look at this. When it's flat, it will go down to nothing. The secret is that outside fiber jacket, which is so tough, so strong. And then you've got the inside. We can tow a car with these hoses, Guy. And as I've said, because we have actually seen a shortage of hoses in the US at the moment, this really is an incredible way to get a hose, look at this, that won't even be affected by a weed whacker. I mean, this is the latest technology of Fireman style hoses. It really is. It's something that is going to make your life easy. Look at this, a normal hose, game over, Guy. We've all done that. But with our hose, this is how strong the Fireman style hose is. Remember, 50 foot weighs just about 3 pounds.
It's a brilliant alternative to regular hoses. It doesn't weigh as much. It's not as bulky. See what you've got, and they're super smart. What they did is they put PVC inside, and then they put the flex jacket on the outside. So you've got two different ways that you're protecting the hose, right? So it keeps it sealed, but the flexibility is what makes it so great, because you got to realize a regular hose is rigid. So if you hit it with something, if you cut it with something, it's going to cut very, very easily, whereas the flex hose is very, very flexible. And here's the flex hose right here. You can see as I wrap it around my hand, it's very, very flexible. Nothing is going to damage this, and then, but it goes down flat when there's no water in it. You can feel the PVC inside, but it's flat when there's no water in it, so that's why it winds very easily. Also, these hoses will not freeze like other hoses will freeze. The other ones will keep residual water in. That's what will freeze sometimes when you keep your hose outside. Because this lays flat, it gets rid of all the water ahead of time. All right, you ready? So I have it available in blue, I have it available in red, and I have it available in black. Each one will come with the Fireman's hose nozzle, all right? And all that is like a Fireman's hose. It graduates the amount of water that goes out simply by giving it a little twist. So whether you want a spray pattern, you want a stream of water, it'll do all that for you. You have three choices in addition to the colors, which is the size. You got the 50 foot, the 75, and you have the 100. If you have any questions, just order the 100, all right? I'm just trying to help you here. Don't be like, well, maybe we should get the 75. The difference in price is minimal, all right? You're talking, what, 39 up to 59. So get the 100. If the 100 is actually the best deal because you get twice the hose, but you're not paying twice the money. Each one of those prices is $20 off the 50, 23 off the 75, and 25 off the 100. Each one of them has 4 flex pay, so you can spread out the payments, get it home. I love these hoses. These are the ones I use all the time because I kept buying the green rubberized hose, and every season. Now here in Florida or in Arizona where I live, the problem was not really the winter, it's the summer, because the hose sits out there, it gets so hot, and if you have a rubberized hose, that rubber is gonna melt down and break down over time, all right? And if it's also hot outside and you bend it, it's never gonna forget where that kink is, and every time you wash the car, it's gonna hit that bend, and you're gonna be like, oh, the water died again. I gotta go out and straighten the hose. You'll never have to do that with this, and here's a close-up of how the hose works. So if you want a giant balloon spray, all you do is give it a little twist. If you want more of a directional, you twist it more. If you want to water things over your head, then you adjust the flex hose that way, right? So you can get up and around. I mean, there is no place this hose will not go, Lorna.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to show you in a second. I mean, this is how tough the fiber jacket is. I mean, this is strong stuff. And look at this, we drove a car over it, no problems, because even a truck, a cement truck, because this is the ultimate in strength. This is why firemen use this style of very, very high-tech fiber jacket hoses. This isn't like the other fabric hoses you may have seen that pop, tear, and burst. This is the same standard as Fireman hose style. And it winds up so beautifully. It is so flexible, so easy to use. And very, very quickly, I have had sitting in this ice bucket all night in my yard a regular hose, because we all know what happens. They go solid, they crack, they kink, they split in the cold weather. But with the Belmont hose, look at this guy. I am pulling it out of all this ice. I mean, because it is made of a nylon outer and a polyurethane inner. I mean, this is still flexible. Look at this. I'm going to get the last bit out here and just show you this
Lorna,
is still usable.
You are awesome. I love it. I love watching you running around that little yard you got back there, because it's like you got it all going on back there. You're getting everything done. I mean, she even did the ice demo. I mean, that's to show you how the flux of temperature it'll ruin your garden hose. So this will not destroy this hose whatsoever. We are extremely busy. Most people buying the 100 and the 75 foot, which I recommend. If you got a small yard or an apartment complex, you may want to go the 50. But I think the 100, it is the best deal. So if you want to get it, it's the best seller right now. 093286 is the item number. We'll send it out to you. I mean, it's the first day of spring. Number one on the list. Get a good garden hose, okay? You know, it's everything in your yard. And get the 100 foot, because I don't know how your house is set up. My house was built in the 30s. It's one of the old beach cabanas in St. Pete, and it's like it has one hose bib on the other side of the house, where on the opposite side of where the driveway is, of course. So I had to get the 100 foot to go all the way around my house to be able to wash my car. Point being, if you don't know what it is, get the big one, all right? And grab it. All right, 093286. Lorna, thank you, darling. You did our first 30 minutes, and everybody loves the stuff. Great job.
Thanks, guys. So good to see you. Happy first day of spring.
Thank you, sweetie. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. All right, we are stepping away, but when we come back, what are we showing, Pat?